so they can see our faces.
You are wasting time. You have 8 Earth minutes left.
We've only got 8 minutes left.
7 minutes and 45 seconds.
He's doing a countdown.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5.
Hey, welcome everybody. We have less than a few days left. I should have updated that video. So we are here at the last 2 hours of our Kickstarter campaign. We are here with Dave Harvey, of course, and Brian Mix, our showrunners. And of course, we're joined wonderfully by Mike and Denise Okuda and Daren Dochterman. And we have some, I think Doug's coming later, and we have some other people. So welcome everybody. I'm going to again turn it over to Dave and Brian from this point and let you guys go from here.
Well, we're going to start with a great big thank you for the backers who are watching this, because it's $284,000, which is amazing. We're just gone past our video wall stretch goal, which is fantastic. Like I've said a couple of times on the show, that video walls are like television monitors or computer monitors, in that the more dots, the better the resolution. And there's our countdown clock.
We'll just pop this up every once in a while.
So the more dots, the sharper it gets, and that's why you'll see that other stretch goal for high def. We can build a video wall with more dots, so you can get closer to it, and it'll still hold its resolution. And although Dave now has the wacky idea of wrapping the video wall all the way around the shuttle, so that's a possibility as well.
That would be
bad idea, Dave.
In uncharted space, we could possibly wrap the whole room.
Yes, even the back.
I don't think you should underestimate the extraordinary thing that this team has done to get the funding to just to build the structure itself was really ambitious. And not only has this team stepped up, but Star Trek fandom came to the party. And we're so impressed and so delighted at how well you've done.
Well, thank you.
I always say Star Trek fans are a family, and we are friends that we've never met before. So we're hoping that everyone can come to Ticonderoga, New York, and experience not only the recreated TOS sets, which are bloody amazing, but also to see the shuttlecraft.
It's really cool. I mean, just the thought of it, this is it. This is the shuttle, and it's nowhere else.
Yeah, I've said before, when it comes to Star Trek original props, there's a dozen communicators and 4 or 5 phasers, and there's one shuttlecraft. There's only one. There only ever was one, and this is it. And it's going to be landing in Ticonderoga, thanks to all the backers and fans out there.
Yeah, and much thanks to everybody that's helped. The Okudas and Daren, and Doug's going to lend his help too with what we're doing. I mean, you guys are busy, and you have set aside time to help us with this, and we're really appreciative You know,
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
Rizzo, why don't you bring up the T-shirt picture, would you? If you got it there.
The T-shirt.
So the logo on the chest there is a Michael Okuda special. I call it the Ghost logo. It became our logo for the Kickstarter, and I think it's really cool. It's not just a shuttlecraft; it just gives you the line. Nice. Yeah, and Daren, were you I helped land the Galileo? Was that you or was that Dave's idea?
That was me in the green room.
In the green room, right? Yeah. We'll
That's a great slogan.
Hey, I have an idea. Yeah.
That's a great slogan.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we went back and forth on this, Mike, but it's really cool. Really enjoy
awesome.
that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think me and Alex, who does a lot of our promotional work, Alexandra, are going to get that as tattoos.
Oh, that's
Oh my gosh.
That's a really good idea.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's all your fault then, Mike. Okay.
Get it on your forehead.
No, it's probably on my arm or maybe my
Now I'm disappointed.
One on my forehead. You'd have to pay for that.
Yeah, I mean, I forget when the moment was when you came across doing the minimalist shuttle part of it, Mike, but it was when we were working on the patch. And, you know, all of a sudden you popped that up and we were all like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Rizzo, go ahead and bring up the patch while Mike talk about that.
Is that the next one?
No. Nope.
Let me hang on. I'll get it. There's the patch.
Yeah. Super cool.
This is awesome too.
Anybody who doesn't know, Mike designs patches for NASA and even cooler science fiction shows. A lot of the patches that you've seen on science fiction shows look like NASA patches or Mike Okuda patches. And Mike was nice enough to, in his busy schedule, squeeze us in and design this for us. And Mike, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Well, when you guys asked us to be involved with this project, honestly, we were flattered because, as you said, there is one shuttlecraft, and it's the largest single surviving prop of the original Star Trek, and it was so lovingly restored by Adam and Leslie Schneider that, unlike a lot of props that have survived these 60 years, it looks like you saw it on television. It's magnificent, and it's hard to imagine that low budget television show was able to make this amazing thing. And when you have it in 3 dimensions, and you can see it all around, and you can see the elegance of the original design by Thomas Kellogg with those slanty sides and those curved edges. It helps you realize the elegance of the original Star Trek as much as being in the recreated sets at the Star Trek Original Series set tour. So in designing the patch, you do a lot of exploration and you go, well, what evokes it? And it turns out that you can get rid of a lot of things and a lot of design elements. And in fact, in this case, I literally got rid of the shuttlecraft itself. And yet it's so iconic that it's still very clear what it is. And to those of us who love the original Star Trek and who love that shuttlecraft, it's surprisingly powerful.
And it's a tie-in with the design ethics of the original series. Simplicity, no clutter, tells the story. I love this patch.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we did have a question just on in the chat. Somebody was asking if they will be able to do a 360-degree walk around of the Galileo, which I don't think that's going to happen, but I'll let you guys answer that.
Yeah, that's a no.
That's
no. Yeah, the size of the building won't allow you to go around the building.
The slab had to be a very specific size. We couldn't go any bigger. It had to do with the oh, hey Michael, I know that guy. He's quite the backer. We've gone back and forth quite a bit. Hey Michael. To get the easement to add the garage onto the building, it had to be a specific size, and that was going to be it. It couldn't be any bigger. So the Galileo will fit. There'll be plenty of room to see it and see the video wall. but we will not be able to walk around it in its permanent home.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Plus, just safety considerations keep us from allowing that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
you'll be able to get close to it and
you'll be able to get close. You won't be able to go inside. I'm going to head off that question right now. Actually, it's shocking how small it is inside. It's pretty much it's impossible to walk. You pretty much have to crawl around on the inside of it. And we are going to different group of people is going to build an interior in it. We'll put some chairs and what looks like a console. Again, it's like 7/8 or 3/4 scale, so everything's going to have to be scaled down a little bit to fit. But you should be able to get some really cool pictures through the doorway of the controls and the seats.
It'll just look like it's farther away.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know, also, to be honest, you really don't want people to go inside, because what if someone were to fly it away?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to crash
After all
through
this
the
work.
door.
I just want to videotape that if it happens.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I ask.
Unlike on the show, our shuttle bay doors will be locked and not be able to easily open without the bridge knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
One of the things that I'm really excited about, and I think, Mike, you expressed it specifically when we were in our early discussions, was the desire to see the shuttle in its natural habitat, so to speak, in a TOS environment, you know, where we expect to see it. And with us reaching the kind of levels we're reaching where we could do a video wall, that's where I think it happens, because we're going to be able to walk in and imagine the hangar deck around it, see it visually.
Well, you won't need to imagine it. You'll be able to see it.
Yeah, you'll see it. And I'm stunned. Yeah, sorry, wrong word.
No, it's all right. It's just like the beginning of Generations, where Picard and Riker are standing on this ship, and Picard says, "Just imagine it, number one." You don't have to. You're in it.
And with the video wall, I don't know what your plans are, but with the video wall, you'll be able to be in the hangar deck, but you'll also be able to put the shuttle in space. You'll be able to put the shuttle on a planet surface, which frankly I'm equally excited about.
Yeah, we can.
I want to take a minute and acknowledge James Cawley. I mean, an extraordinary person, and what a gift to everyone who loves Star Trek. I mean, he has gone above and beyond to make sure things are accurate. And he's given us all this gift. And now with the Shuttlecraft, I mean, so fortunate to call him friend and have known him for a long time. And I know you all work with him and so forth, but I just wanted to give a huge shout out to James Cawley.
Yeah, it's amazing what he's done, and he is just tireless working at it, and has been, and is so dedicated to it. It's really stunning, and it's really, really great to work with him on the set. And this is a really great thing to get to work on with him. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Super thing. We're really thrilled to be able to help him with this. You know?
One of our earlier stretch goals was the observation deck, and he's leading the team on building that, and it's going to be perfect because everything James does is perfect. His attention to detail is amazing, beyond anyone else I know who's into Star Trek. And being able to walk through the observation deck on your way to the shuttle, you walk through a set of doors and be on the observation deck and watch the shuttle operations going on and the windows behind you.
You'll be able to feel that power surging and throbbing.
Yeah.
That's right. The windows behind, when you look down on the observation deck, where they're located on the sides of the ship, the windows behind you are looking out into space. It's the only windows on the Enterprise that look actually out into space. It's not a view screen, it's a window. And that'll be exciting as well, to have the actual look out into space from the observation deck as well as onto the shuttle.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful thing for the 60th anniversary. I mean, I don't know of anything else that's being done to honor the original series, Gene Roddenberry's original series, than the Shuttlecraft. And it's I think a respect for what has happened the last 60 60 years, and I'm really excited about the celebration of the unveiling of the shuttlecraft.
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah,
be
it's going to be. Actually, this is a great time to bring this up because this is a telethon or pledge drive. Pledge drive. It's a pledge drive to talk about. You can be in the room when they dedicate the shuttle. Walter Koenig and George Takei are going to be there to, break a fake bottle on a fake spaceship, and you can be there. That's one of our tiers on our Kickstarter. It's not too late. You've got another hour and 45 minutes to get in on that and be in the room. There'll be a whole line of speakers are going to be there, including David Gerald and Bijo Trimble and the Okudas and Daren. And it's going to be quite an event. And you can be there and then get your picture with everyone. And it's going to be a really, really cool day. And it's one day, one time for one ship. And that's going to be fun. So if you haven't already backed us, that's a great package to pick up.
And we just jumped up to 287 and a half, just about, as we're talking. I've never gotten to do this from this side before. I've watched these things, but we're actually getting to like, this is kind of cool.
I can't wait for the part in the transmission where, Dave, you start singing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
That's gonna hurt everyone. Yeah.
I thought it would use it as
an anti-incentive.
Yes.
Take me home again, Eileen. No.
All of that will cause the funds to go down. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, unlike a lot of Kickstarters, you have something extraordinary to offer. That is to participate in preserving and presenting something that people genuinely want to see. To have all of the entire original shuttlecraft together with the Enterprise sets is
extraordinary.
Is extraordinary. It's the shuttlecraft has been displayed before at Space Center Houston, at the Intrepid Museum, and both of those are amazing venues. But this is where the shuttlecraft belongs.
This is home.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely. And on that note, we really should mention the Snyders, who really got it built, restored originally. It's important to remember that we didn't restore it. That that was a whole project years ago that got done. Luckily, it did. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here talking about it.
Yeah, they did a storied thing, then saving it and restoring it. And they've also been amazing to work with on this stage of it, with James and with us. We had a great day where they came up to visit the Galileo, where it is in the workshop, and meet with James and get to see it. And that was a great day. And that was a lot of fun. And they're wonderful people and very gracious, very real Star Trek fans. They
love Star Trek as much as we do. And it was a passion project. And look where we landed now. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's really amazing. I mean, Brian and I obviously felt we could do this. But we're still, you don't know until it happens. And I remember how nervous we were with the hit the button when it went live moment a month ago, and to see it like this, to see so many fans. This is not even just a Star Trek thing. This is a pure cultural icon for us as a culture. This is significant beyond just it's a very iconic thing, this shuttlecraft. And I like
what NASA's role is. If you guys want to touch on that.
From the very beginning, Gene Roddenberry consulted with aerospace experts, and NASA was publicly supportive from the very beginning of Star Trek because of Roddenberry's attention to technical detail, to believability, to portraying what space exploration could be for society. And we've been lucky enough to visit a number of NASA facilities over the years. And virtually every place you go, you'll find scientists and engineers and astronauts going, I got into this because of Star Trek. So you can understand why NASA has been so supportive of Star Trek over the years.
But also, the shuttle was first on display at the Houston Space Center.
Yep.
And the loan of the shuttle is due to their kindness.
Yep. It's a great thing. Yeah. So many different factors contributing to this happening. It's kind of amazing. Yeah.
Someone's asking about the difference between. I know Brian, you had talked about the difference between the high def and the regular definition on the video wall.
Oh yeah. Oh, I missed that. Would you be?
It's the difference between going like this and opening your eyes.
If you want high def pixel count, they do it in pitch, which is the distance between pixels, and they come in 3.2 millimeter, 2.9 millimeter, and 1.9 millimeter. And having not been close enough to them to tell you the visual difference, those are the pitches they quote them in. And of course, the price goes up as the pitch goes down. So the more resolution you get, the higher more it costs.
Yeah, we should also thank you, Daren. I mean, you were working really hard with us to generate a lot of things for this to happen.
Yeah, you might recognize the voice behind the teaser video as Daren's voice. Yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah, really.
I thought you should have done Gene, but you know.
Yeah.
No, you don't use Gene for stuff like that. Gene is only special occasions, and you have to respect his memory. Only when you're asking for a lot of money.
Okay with it, Gene talk. I never met the man, but I think he would have been okay.
It's only for teasing David Gerald.
That's correct.
He can't stand it.
But a worthy goal.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, the glasses are Daren's work from. It's an integration of work from what Mike gave us, and then Daren went and did the rendering work and the logo work on the glasses.
Actually, bring up the pin, Rizzo. The pin is Daren's design.
Let me
that's
Daren's. One sec.
There it is.
Oh, nice.
It's a really nice pin. Yeah,
It's sort of a simplification of all the sort of graphical elements that we see on the Enterprise and the shuttle.
Yeah,
and I thought it was fun.
Yeah, we started from if you had a patch, every starship has a different patch on their uniform. If the Galileo was a starship, what would that patch look like? Yeah. That would go the little delta, and this is what Daren came up with, the sideways delta for the Galileo pin.
And I suppose it could go right side up as well if you want.
Yeah, there's no upside down in space, right? So you can go any direction.
Yeah. Exactly.
I like it. It's simple, which I like. I like simple.
Full disclosure, I designed the pin, but this is an AI rendering, so I think that it turned out great.
The actual pin will look extremely similar to this, but yeah, this is a artist representation of the pin.
Yes.
Well, in graphic design, one of the great challenges is it's with modern tools, it's very easy to put in a ton of detail. The challenge is to get rid of detail, to simplify it and boil it down to its purest essence. And Daren's done an amazing job here. You look at that and you instantly understand what it is, and it carries the beauty and the power of the Enterprise and the Galileo.
Well, it made me think of a bracelet idea. What would Matt Jeffries do?
Yes.
No. Yeah. That'd be a fun T-shirt. WWMJD. What would Matt Jeffries do? And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that at the team member and senior team members, you get the Mike patch and the Daren pin, along with everything else, the T-shirt and the hats, and all of our tiers are stacked. So if you get into the Galileo christening, you're going to receive all these things as well. The Kickstarters I've been on, I always like the stacked tiers, so when you go up a step, you're still getting all the stuff from the below, and that's how our tiers work.
Yeah, Dave, talk about that $500.
Oh yeah,
pledge.
That is my favorite tier. I think that it's hard to even get your head around how cool it is, because it's $500, but you get all the things: the patch, the pin, the glasses, the T-shirt, the hat. So there's all your stacked goodies, as Brian likes to say, all right there for you. And they're all really wonderful things that we've developed for everyone as fans. So they're cool. But then the special thing is that your name is going to be permanently on the wall in the room, on the Wall of Fame. And what Brian came up with Dave, his friend that does plaque work, you're going to get your own custom plaque at home to put on your wall to honor the fact that you're on there. So, I mean, it's just really great. And you're getting to be part of Star Trek history by doing this. You're part of it. And you're part of making a home for the Galileo. And anyone who shows up there, or if you show up there or your friends show up there, you can see your name on the wall that you helped. I love it. Yeah.
Rizzo, you got that slide? You got a slide of the plaque in the room?
Yep. Hang on. Let me get there. Well, here's you want the one where the Wall of Fame one is?
Yes, please. There it goes.
There it is. You know, I designed the dedication plaques on a lot of the shows in the Next Generation era. The original dedication plaque on the original Enterprise simply said USS Enterprise, Starship Class, San Francisco, California. And when I first designed the plaque for the Enterprise D, I wanted to honor Matt Jeffries. I wanted to honor Andy Probert. So I started adding names. Then when I revised it, I wanted to put more people who worked on the show. And I was afraid people were going to complain because I put like 4 columns of names. And little did I know that was going to become a thing.
Yeah. Yes.
And people love having their names on the plaque.
Yeah. And definitely a thing here. The gold plaque is going to have the names of all the backers who are officers, senior officers will be on that plaque, and everyone who's in the Wall of Fame will be on that plaque below. And that's the $500 level Dave was talking about. Was the Wall of Fame at $500 you're on that plaque. However, we're going to send a gold plaque to everyone who's Wall of Fame and up, who's a crew member and up. And on that gold plaque will be your name. We're going to do a custom plaque for everybody. So in the list of names, you'll see your name on the gold plaque to receive.
Hey, James.
Hey, there's James.
Hey,
James.
man. Hey.
Morning. Morning.
Good morning, man. Congratulations.
What are we congratulating me for something special, or?
Yeah, dude.
We're up
We
to
are
289, almost 290,000.
We're about to cross 290,000.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well done. Well done.
Yeah. Great to have you on. Good morning, man.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm a little numb this morning, but here I am.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you. Very exciting stuff, and we're thrilled to be working with you on this project, James.
There we go.
It sounds like it's going really well. I haven't been able to really look at it the last few days, but you said you were up to what now? I'm sorry?
Almost 290,000.
That's amazing, isn't it? The power of the fans is still there with a show that's just as relevant today, 60 years later, as it was the night it premiered. It's amazing to me that they love it as much as we do.
Yep. And it's a testament. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and the fact that we're celebrating the 60th anniversary, and I don't know of anything that's happening to celebrate Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek and the original series, except what you have created in Ticonderoga, New York. I mean, it's just fantastic. And I think that all of us who love Star Trek owe you a debt of thanks and gratitude.
Well, I appreciate that, Denise. I think it goes back. We've had this conversation that at one time or another, when we were all young watching that show, we all wanted to feel what it was like to step onto that set, whether we believed it to be a real spaceship or we knew it was a set. We all wanted to experience doing that. We would read the making of Star Trek, and that would deepen our love for wanting to do it. So I think for me, that's where it started, watching the show and reading that book. And I just happened to be the lunatic that decided to spend his money to try to do it. So I've stopped, thinking about what I don't have and try to focus more on what I do have, and what the show and the sets have given me is beyond anything I could have had with money. Really, the friendships and the stories and just the connections with the average person that walks in. There is no price you could put on that experience. For me,
the times we visited your exhibition, to see fans come in and the wonder in their eyes as they say, I have been on the ship so many years in my mind on my television, and now it's real. That sense of wonder is extraordinary. It's worth all the effort that you and so many others have put into it.
Well, I can't wait to see your sense of wonder this year, because there's been several changes that I think are going to make you and Denise just never want to leave again.
Well, don't. As long as
you'll probably be spending the rest of your lives there.
we may have to build them a home so they can be here more often, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Brian,
there's
I don't
an
know if you wanted
apartment in
to
there.
answer the question somebody had about photo ops during the 60th, or maybe James can answer that with the Galileo on the 60th anniversary. Just want to.
Well, we're sold out of those. There were a limited slot, and those sneak peeks were available. So starting September, you'll be able to see her.
Yeah.
So yesterday,
hour and a half left, guys.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had a gathering of 34 people that came to take the tour and then watch Doomsday Machine. And I surprised them by saying, would you like to see the Galileo? And I thought they were going to come unglued.
I love it.
So we made a quick trip up the street and we showed them Galileo. And there's a father and son that have been to the tour, half a dozen times maybe. And I don't know how old the son is, but you can see that his passion and his drive for it. I mean, he's probably no more than 14 or 15. So, but to see that kind of affection for that show in someone that young just absolutely blows my mind. So we even opened the door and let him, kind of get on the edge and get his picture taken. And he was just like cloud nine.
Nice.
And I often think that if somebody had done that for one of us when we were kids, could you imagine what that would have done to us?
Yeah.
Yes.
So to be able to have the fans support the shuttlecraft and contribute like they have, pushes me to make sure that they get to see the shuttlecraft and that the shuttlecraft is there, longer than I may live. So I just pray that everybody's happy with what we do in the end, no matter, whether it's a little upgrade or it's the shuttlecraft on display. I see everybody here as a family, all of us on this screen and those that aren't here. I see us as the people that are driven to make sure that Gene Roddenberry's legacy is here long after we're gone.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
That's actually a challenge coming up here that I'm looking forward to very much is Daren and Doug Drexler and yourself designing a room that was never seen on the show.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Really quickly too, guys, there's a prop guy out there on the ether that has made buttons and things in the past. And he, I think he said he lost his job or something, but he could not contribute to the Kickstarter. So he emailed me and said, can I build the control boxes for the interior? So when the doors open, you'll see the light up control boxes to go on the wall of the shuttlecraft. Can I do that as my contribution? And I said, absolutely. I mean, that's just as important, if people contribute in that way, just letting people know that we can use all kinds of help above and beyond when this Kickstarter is over. We never, if you've got the skills and you love it this much, we're certainly not going to say.
These sets came together by fans volunteering, using their talents and building stuff on it. And that's how the sets got built, and that's how the Galileo is going to be done as well.
Yep. It's been an amazing ride. I think I started building the sets in 1996 or 95 or 96. And so here all these years later, and we're still doing it.
Yeah. And you just did a huge revamp of the corridors, which was a huge amount of work for you, James. and
which I think has put me in the state I sit in today.
James, can you talk about that upgrade or
Sure. Last July, the Okudas had been working on getting their Daren, I think they'd all been working on getting their friend Donnie Versiga from Roddenberry Archive to come. He's a huge TOS fan, and I guess they'd been telling him, you got to go. So he finally came and went through the sets, and then there was a quiet moment later on in the day, and he said to me, have you looked at this red line in the corridor and the spacing between that and the floor and the door and blah blah blah? And I said, yeah, Donnie, many times. I mean, that's the blueprint says this is what this is. And he said, well, I don't know. I think they made a change, and it's not what you think. And I said, okay, show me. And so he started telling me what he thought it was, and I was listening to him, and I, was looking at, he had a screenshot on his phone or something. He was a smart guy. I just wasn't totally convinced of how or what had been done, whether it came off the top of the wall or, what did they do? So miraculously, about 2 weeks later, a collector friend had a shot of a cut scene with an extra standing in the corridor holding his hands up into the air underneath one of the headers. And when I saw that, I went, son of a, Donnie's got something. There's something going on here. So I went back to the blueprint and I put the scale ruler on it. And sure enough, I had built what was drawn. But in hindsight, we think they built the corridor in 65 for where No Man Has Gone Before. And that matches the date on the elevation that I have. I think they built it, shot it, and then realized, oh, we can see
too high.
Yeah, we can see between the headers. And without making any notation, I think when they moved the sets from Culver to Hollywood and set them back up, they changed them. And Donnie was absolutely correct. So, and I told him, I called him immediately. I said, we got it. Here, look at this picture. And we went back and forth with a couple of things, and we made the change, and it's done.
Yeah, saying make the change is putting a little lightly. You cut the top off every hallway of the ship and rebuild them.
Every
hallway.
And then that necessitated rebuilding the A-frames, everything, so that, but you guys know, I mean, those of you that have been around me for any length of time, if we have discovered that something is a fraction of a millimeter off, we tear it apart, do it again. So, I mean, the idea is to get it right. And so, Donnie had a sharp eye, and I'm forever grateful that he caught something that I didn't, because normally I don't miss things like that. But, you get to a point, I think Mike and Denise will agree, if you've got a drawing and a plan that came from a source, that you're like, okay, well, that's what they did. But you also have to pay attention, because they do make changes in Hollywood. So,
and it's a sign of, I'm going to embarrass you a little bit, James, is a sign of intelligence that you have a strongly held opinion, and then new evidence comes, and you go and you consider the implications of the evidence. And if the evidence is compelling, you change your opinion because the facts have changed. And for that, I'm so impressed.
Well, that's just the creative side. I think any of us that are passionate about something, you don't ever close yourself off to the fact that you could be wrong.
You didn't see the 10 minutes that he had a fit like the Mirror Kirk.
I did not. I did not. And I have messaged Donnie, throughout the whole process, and sent him pictures and thanked him. And I've invited him to come in May so that he can. I built him a new uniform so he can come and be a crewman in the promos that we're going to shoot. And he's turned out to be this really sweet guy. And so thank you guys for introducing him to me.
We love him.
Even though it's cost me a lot of time, money, and physical ailment. we got it done.
Well, Donnie is one of the 3D artists with the Roddenberry Archive project, and every week we have a review meeting, very much like this Zoom right here. And a lot of times I'll say, "Hey, Donnie, here's a note for something that I think needs to be tweaked." And I'm very used to Donnie coming back with a screen grab or something saying, "No, this is what you might remember, but this is what you actually built." And to have him correct me on something that I did for the next generation.
Yeah.
And
go,
he's he's a lot younger than we are. I mean, he did not grow up with the original series, just like the kid you mentioned that was 15 years old that you gifted for showing the shuttle to. Just he's younger than we are. I mean, he wasn't even born when TOS was.
I hate to say it, Denise, but there's a lot of people younger than we are now.
Yeah, that's true.
And that speaks to the power of Gene Roddenberry's vision for the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, I get online, you know, not as much as I used to, but I have lately said that I get tired of the bickering today over certain things, and I don't, you know, really watch the modern incarnations of Star Trek. I don't, and there's various reasons why. But if a kid finds those shows, and they make that kid think differently and fall in love and become passionate fans, and go back and see the old stuff, then they've done a good job. You know, you can argue about different things with them, but if they do get younger people involved and they rediscover what brought us to it, how can you get upset about that? And I particularly take affront with older fans screaming at people who are kids watching these shows. You know, leave them alone and let everybody enjoy what they enjoy. And in the end, can we just go back to being Star Trek fans again? I mean, I wish people would see that about themselves more than anything.
Yeah,
absolutely. When Gene started Star Trek: The Next Generation, there were a lot of fan hostility toward it. And I absolutely got it. I absolutely understood. I was one of those fans.
Right.
And
did you have the T-shirt that looked like Coca-Cola and it said Trek Classic? Who needs another generation?
I didn't have one, but I absolutely remember that. And it took me quite a while to get used to Next Generation. You know, I was proud to work on it, but it didn't click for me for quite a while.
Yeah. And but look at what it did. Look at what it brought to the franchise. And again, everybody has different opinions about everything, and there's no wrong or right. Art is very subjective. We may not like something, but that doesn't mean a 12-year-old watching it isn't going to fall in love with it. And why are longtime fans beating up on younger kids? I don't see the need. It's part of what's wrong in our culture overall today. And I tell people Star Trek fans are the smartest people on the planet, and they should be the first ones to know better than to throw a stone. Yeah. So I really hope people start to change.
Absolutely.
In general, yes.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah. But the positive side is look at what the fans are doing here. Just, I mean, I can't see what your Kickstarter is, but it's amazing to me that as I said before, people are still this passionate, and you know, over a 60-year-old show. Show me another 60-year-old show that people love like this. There isn't one.
Yeah.
It's stunning, and James, it shows how we've seen it because we're in the Kickstarter, how much people have talked about your place and the tour and how excited they are to back this, for it to be there with you. Just showing the dream of what you've built and how much it means to so many people and how enthusiastic they are to help, you know?
Well, I never started out for it to be what it is. I just wanted to play Star Trek with friends. You know, I wanted to celebrate my love of it in my own way. But, you know, when all of the weird stuff was happening with fan films, and I do mean weird stuff because there was a lot of it, I had to ask myself, I had to go into myself and really do some soul searching. And I asked myself one evening, what is it about doing this that you love? What is your drive for it? And I realized it wasn't making the films. You know, that was such a hard thing to do and could sometimes be toxic and upsetting. And I realized the one thing that I loved about it more than anything were the people that came from literally all over the country to be a part of it, meeting those people and talking to them about how much they loved Star Trek and what it meant for them to walk onto the bridge. And then the light went off, and I said, "Geez, I wonder if the studio would like to open this up to the public. Is there a way we can do it?" And thankfully, Liz Kolodner saw the brilliance of the idea and championed it with John Van Citters and that whole group of people at CBS who still are remarkable Star Trek people and remarkable people in their own way. They got it, and we should never forget that they rolled the dice and took a shot on doing this too. So it's not just me; it's a whole army of people over the years that have gotten us here. But the love of meeting people is what keeps me here. The love of sharing the joy of that experience.
Yeah, it's great.
I think we're beneficiaries of the fact that not everyone, but some of the people at the corporate level grew up being Star Trek fans. John Van Citters started out as a Star Trek fan, and he's translated that love into an ability to promote and protect Star Trek.
Yeah.
And in this case, he had the wisdom to look at this extraordinary thing, which on the surface was, what are you, nuts?
I've heard that more than once.
Yeah. And he had the wisdom to say, this guy wants to do something amazing, an extraordinary opportunity that doesn't exist anywhere else on this planet, to make this experience, not just these artifacts, this experience available to anyone who wants it.
Believe me, I'm forever grateful to John and to all those that came, that aren't with the company anymore, and to Dave Rossi and all of these people who despite the fact they work for the company, they are and the fans don't see it, they are very passionate about the show. They've always been passionate about the show. And that's part of the reason that 60 years later, the show's still here. You've got this core group of people that fight to keep something of it out there, and to make it accessible, and to make sure that there are toys and T-shirts. It's not an easy job navigating the corporate world of America every day. I can't imagine the stress and the pressures and all of that. So, it started with Gene, and I'm forever grateful for everybody that's had a way of creating this thing and keeping it going, and so that all these years later, I'm talking to you guys. I mean, Mike and Denise, you guys were heroes. Daren, a hero to me. People that I looked up to from a long distance. Your names were in the books. Your names were on the screens. At some point, we hadn't been fortunate enough to meet, but the show and fellow friends, and so it made these connections possible, and they've lasted a lifetime. I mean, how do you put a value on that? You can't. You just can't. And we owe it all to this little 3 or 4 page outline that Gene wrote in 1960. What, 3 or 4? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
How our lives have changed and been enriched and made better by one guy's drive to earn a living and entertain at the same time.
Yeah, James, we should use this opportunity to promote a little bit for you. In June, you're bringing the captain back to the sets again, William Shatner.
Yeah.
And one of the best things for me has been the ability to meet this man and listen to him speak and follow him around the sets. And what an experience.
One of the best things for me is actually being able to get to know him and consider him a friend, and him consider me a friend, and have the trust in the set tour and the staff to want to come back time and time again. At one point he said it was like coming home to the house he grew up in, which, I mean, how do you put any, I mean, to hear your hero of your childhood say this to you. I tell people, if you haven't seen Bill Shatner, you need to see him here, because you can interact with him in ways that you could only dream of. And he's so down to earth, and he's so much fun. And I mean, there's so many things I could say, but it's, people need to experience the man in the environment, to see him so relaxed and sharing so many different memories of his life. There's just no words to sell it. You have to experience it.
And Daren gets to follow him around the sets.
Yeah.
I do.
How many trips have you been through the Enterprise with William Shatner?
All of them. I consider it my honor and duty.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
And and I remember when you first started, Darren, he's like, he's never going to remember my name. Now he asks for you by name. So,
yeah. So if you folks haven't experienced that, James has another Shatner experience coming up in June. You go to the Star Trek Set Tour webpage and you can sign up for the tour.
and you know what's funny? We keep getting calls from people who are on the original show who want to come in June, and I'm like, I don't even think I have room.
Yeah.
But they keep calling or emailing, and I was literally, you're going to love this, Denise. I was on the set about 3 weeks ago, trying to get the corridor painted. I was on a ladder, and my phone rang, and I don't, if I'm doing something, I generally try not to take the call, but I didn't take it the first time, and then within minutes it called back again, and I happened to pick it up and look at it, and it was an LA number. And I thought, well, okay, well, maybe I should answer this. And I answered it, and it was Pam Ferdin from And the Children Shall Lead.
Oh,
Wow.
Someone had given her my number, and she was like, can I please come? I said, yes, you can come. So Pam Ferdin will be with us also in June. So I've seen Pam in hundreds of TV shows over the years, but you sit there and go, this person that I've watched since I was a kid is calling me on my phone. How did they even get my number?
Yeah, that's so fun. It's great.
Yeah.
You've got so many people coming in June. It's going to be a big event. Very exciting.
It is the 60th anniversary party. It's the event. If there's a 60th anniversary Star Trek event, this is it in June.
I think we all know that 60 years is a big milestone. We all thought 50 was big. 60 is unprecedented. And this is a way to rub elbows with some of the people that made it real, and in the environment. I've often lamented that Hollywood has not curated its own history properly, and that none of us can see the original set. So that's been my drive. How do we bring this back so people can actually do it? How they can experience this? And really is the only way. So if you love it, don't miss the 60th anniversary, because it's only going to happen once. We're never going to go to 60 again.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
A big deal.
And not only is it a museum quality replica, but unlike the actual sets, everything is together. Normally in filming, you take pieces out and it's cluttered with equipment. This is the Enterprise as it's the idealized Enterprise as it was, but as it never was.
Right. Eddie Paskey. I don't know. Were you here when Eddie was here, Mike?
Yeah.
Eddie came in, and he had back surgery, and he wasn't moving very, very well. And I asked him if he wanted a wheelchair, and he said, no, I'm walking through this.
Oh.
And when we opened the doors, I can't tell you how many times he cried. And one of the things that he kept saying, other than how did you do this, was, I never got to see all the rooms with 4 walls.
Wow.
And he was just visibly moved the entire time. And then we got to the bridge, and he said, well, that's where I would sit on the bridge. And so he sat at engineering, and it was like we were all in kindergarten class. We were on the floor listening to him talk. It was just, he was probably one of the greatest guests I think that we've ever had the pleasure of hosting. But he was so taken by the authenticity and the fact that the rooms were enclosed, because he'd never seen them enclosed.
Right. Because they never were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said walls would be unscrewed and stacked everywhere.
Yeah.
And if they needed something, they would scramble and they would put walls up. So
we should probably do a little public service announcement reminding people that we've got a little over an hour left in the campaign. For people who haven't pledged, it's a good chance for you to help with this and maybe memorialize your name. And if you have pledged and you're out there, do a social share for us right now. Post it. Let other people know. That's a way you can help. If you've already put dollars into this, you can help us this last hour that way too. Thank you.
And I saw the question come up, when will the christening be? We're shooting for September 18th. Of course, this depends on flight schedules of our stars who are coming in. but that's what we're shooting for, is the weekend of September 18th for sure. It'll be 18, 19, or 20. It'll be one of those days, but we're aiming for the 18th, depending on the flight schedules. The Shatner event is in June 26th. The Galileo christening is September 18th, 19th, 20. Also, real quick, if you want just a patch or you want just a pin, you don't have to buy the whole stack. You can go in and get our $7 supporter and then jump over to add-ons and add any one of those things on singularly if you want it.
Hey, Brian, let's maybe talk about some of the other stuff like the pizza party, which some of these folks will be there for.
Can I just jump in real quick? Yesterday was my first anything back to work in over 2 weeks. So it's almost 11 now, and I do have to go to the tour this morning. So
okay.
I won't be there an awful long time, but I do have to be there. So let me just say thank you to all of you so much from the bottom of my heart. I love you all, and thanks to the fans for, going way above and beyond to make this a reality, so that all the other fans as well as themselves can enjoy this for many, many years to come.
Thank you, James.
I look forward to seeing you. And then
thank you too, James. Yeah.
Call me anytime, gang. I miss your voices and your faces. So
We love you too, James.
love you guys a lot. Take care.
Bye, James.
Thanks for coming on, man. Okay.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You know, when you first mentioned this, Denise, and I in particular was extremely skeptical. I was slightly aware of the challenges you'd faced, and of course you faced even more of them, and to get to this point is just amazing.
It's not been that long since we had conversation in the corridors of the Enterprise.
No, that's where it started. We were right there. Walking out of auxiliary control.
I remember
talking about, do you think we can do a Kickstarter? And when you guys said we'd be behind it, it's like, okay, I guess we're doing it. And that's where it was born. Yeah.
Yep. There were a lot, and it's like as if really Brian and I have talked about it over and over when there have been a number of things, as there are challenges with any project. Each one resolved as if the Galileo wants this to happen, is how I felt. Like it was meant to be. And each time when we got worried or we had something serious to work on to make this happen, and there are a lot of things to make this happen, it kept resolving. Just like this moment where we're seeing the funding from fans. I've been stunned over and over.
Yeah, you guys jumped in. Daren jumped in with like low hesitations. Like, what do you need? I'll get it. Doug jumped in like anything. Literally, he said, anything legal, I will do.
Hey, Mike, you were talking about a pizza party.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead, Brian, if you want to, or anybody.
So what we're doing, this is going to be, James just left, but the briefing room has been the briefing room since the sets were built. And as you probably know from the show, that the recreation room was simply the briefing room redressed. So we're actually going to redress that briefing room like the recreation room and have a pizza party with the Star Trek designers. You see them at the bottom of this picture here. It's most of the folks that are here. So it gives you a chance to do what we're doing now. You can talk to these folks about Star Trek, about the shows they've worked on, and get their point of view on the sets or Next Generation or even the Orville for that matter. Actually, I want to pin Mike down and talk to him about For All Mankind. That's what I'm going to do with the pizza party. So maybe you guys can join in that conversation. But this is one of the things. It's an add-on. So again, you can start any tier, whether you're getting all our stuff or not. Jump over to add-ons and add on this event. This will be in September in the recreation room. It's going to be fun. Oh, and a beer glass. And a beer glass. Don't forget the beer glass.
What was that, Denise? What?
I said, and eat pizza.
And eat
pizza.
Right. And eat pizza. And we designed. We didn't really design. We put Mike's patch on a beer glass.
Yeah, we hope you don't mind, Mike. We just put it on there. Okay.
Yeah. Doug just joined us.
I like it.
Welcome, Doug.
Oh, and there's Doug.
Oh, I'm here. I didn't know I was here.
Hey, Doug.
Hey,
we're just talking about you. Yeah, Doug will be joining us at the pizza party, and I've also we just added. We
That
just
was my
added.
bad. He's back. He's back. Sorry.
He's back. We just added Bijo Trimble is coming out. The lady who saved Star Trek with her husband John. That letter rating campaign. So if you want to talk to her, she'll be there. And we roped in. I just lost his name. Help me, Dave.
Jim
We
Payne.
just roped in David Gerald. Is
David
that
Gerald. That was it.
Yes.
Oh, I've heard of him.
There's Bijo and John.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got David Gerald in there as well. So you've got writers, you've got letter writers, you've got designers. There'll be lots of people to talk to, and it's a small group. So you'll absolutely be able to grab somebody and talk to them about something. And
we got Beaker.
Beaker.
Hey, Beaker coming too.
He loves being on the podcast.
He loves. He
knows I'm doing an interview or a podcast. He calls me from the front. I have to stop everything and go get him.
It's like he likes the camera. Look at that. Yeah.
With this pizza party, I mean, you have not only the things with Star Trek, but the other things that these guys have all worked on that you can talk to them about. I was just chatting with Doug online about Battlestar Galactica yesterday. And it's a fabulous series, and you get a chance to talk to him in person about that.
You know what? The new Battlestar, the Ron Moore Battlestar, really has more connection to Star Trek than I think it does to the original Battlestar Galactica. You know, you see Star Trek all the way through it. It's got the DNA. It's got the DNA. Of course, it's got the basic, premise of the aircraft carrier in space. But incredible show. And there were times where I really got choked up and shed a tear. That's pretty amazing. And so did he.
I think for the pizza party, I would like to request at least one pizza with pineapple on it.
Don't say it.
Pineapple.
I knew you.
But listen, the pineapple should be dyed different colors.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
That'll make sure there's pieces for you.
I will put different pieces of
We'll
Play-Doh
allow
on your
that.
pizza and
We'll
not
allow
tell you
that.
because that's
Pineapple pizza is great. I love it.
It is. Anyone who thinks it isn't is just
Not Italian.
Pineapple and Canadian bacon, one of my favorites.
Me too.
Yeah, it's excellent. Excellent. So, Doug, you're just talking about how you agreed to do anything that was legal to help us with this project.
Well, it depends what it is. If it's interesting enough, I might,
legal is a fuzzy line.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's great. So we're at 291,000 guys. I would love to see us break 300,000 by the end of the hour.
It could happen.
Yeah, and we're getting the help to do it as we're going along.
I remember when I came to work for Mike in the art department, and we were talking about shuttlecraft, and he said, the purpose of shuttlecraft? And I was like, well, yeah, it's, anything you can't use a transporter. And he goes, no, the purpose of a shuttlecraft is to get lost, to get our people lost.
Yeah.
And that really, he's right.
Yeah, it's the anti-transporter. It makes it's not a transporter, and it sticks people places where the transporter can't get them. And
we're welcoming Jim Payne on here. I just wanted to introduce Jim with Trek World. And Jim has been a great supporter of what we're doing, but he's also doing a documentary on the Galileo and has huge knowledge of just about everything that ever happened to that gypsy. Okay?
Yeah.
That's an amazing story. Wow.
Yeah. Some really great stuff we've unearthed.
We are less than an hour, guys, just so you know, for timer wise.
TikTok.
Yeah, I'm all
We're
excited.
an
I
hour.
can't wait to see how it comes out at the end here in the hour.
Yeah.
We just 291,000 we just broke. So
Jim, maybe you could relate that last thing you just found out about the School of the Blind.
So yeah, you'll have to forgive me. So I guess during the pandemic, my life changed. I was a cubicle worker working for Nissan, and I loved Star Trek as a child. Like Doug, I grew up on the East Coast, so I grew up on the wrong coast. Okay, but I wasn't in New York, and Doug was an amazing person. He made his future happen. I've never seen anybody manifest their future.
It is great for all of us, really.
So it was absolutely amazing. So, but for me, I left Star Trek. You leave your childhood behind. The pandemic hits, and then I discover this picture during the pandemic, and I'm thinking to myself, if I can get the picture to come up here, because of course, even though it was full of the screen a few moments ago, it doesn't want to be full screen now. Anyhow, I find a picture of 4 kids in cosplay in front of the Galileo, and I think we've all seen this. Okay. And I think to myself, wouldn't it be amazing if a Star Trek fan who hasn't really even been in deep in Star Trek in 4 years could figure out the answer? Jim Cawley said something about an hour ago. He said after he left that little boy in the Galileo, and he said, can you imagine what it would have been if somebody had done that for us? So I suddenly became obsessed with wanting to know all of those moments. And now 4 years later, I'm officially mentally ill. The documentary's coming out. It's going to be on the history of the Galileo, but pretty much from the fans' perspective. And one of the latest pieces of information that has just come in that has been very difficult to document the earliest stages of the Galileo. But basically, there was a gentleman by the name of Kaplan. He was the executive director of the Foundation for the Junior Blind. He had connections in Hollywood because he had made a documentary in 1961 with 20th Century Fox. They donated their time, studios, and everything about one of the children in his camp at the time. And so through this connection, Desilu donates the Galileo to the Foundation for the Junior Blind.
That has been one of the great mysteries of Star Trek. Why did it go to that?
Exactly. What was there? Had to be an inside connection. What was it? And here's the interesting thing: when it went, it wasn't completely alone. Although the Galileo was the biggest piece, it went with a bunch of other props because these were personal connections. So he had like the yeoman's captain's pad, okay, the 3-ring binder, basically. That they got copies of that. They got a bunch of other things. All of the original internal seats that were used in the Galileo set. That were bolted to the floor, all like 7 of them were there when it went to the Foundation. They were not there when it left. So it goes to the Foundation. They spend, it gets delivered. It gets dropped in their yard by crane off a flatbed truck. It gets delivered, of course, the nacelles aren't attached. It sits there for years. They very quickly go from, we're going to use this as a classroom, to we'll let the kids play in it, to we got to keep them away because it's dangerous. So sometime around mid-1972, Kaplan calls his friends up at 20th Century Fox, and they make an arrangement that they're going to go ahead and they're going to store the Galileo at West Pico at 20th Century Fox out in the main parking lot where a lot of people saw it, but nobody took photographs. And it gets auctioned off at a PBS auction in the middle of May 1972, KCETV. And the auction winner, Robert Heisman. And so now I was actually able to put the pieces together.
Oh, wow.
See how it changed hands.
That's some amazing detective work there.
That I talked with KCET and my little old channel. And Doug, I want to thank you. You probably have no idea. I'm one of thousands of people that you have spoken to, okay, via emails and stuff. We've never met, but you have always been one of the most gracious people ever from my earliest days.
Thank you.
And one of the things my channel allows me to do that is a little bit different from other people's channel is the fans talk back to me by the thousands. And it's their stories that put stuff together.
It's actually the biggest story of all, really.
It to me, it is. That when this documentary comes out, it'll pale in comparison to what you've got coming out, Doug, and what Daren can do without even blinking an eye with his talent. This is very, very much a labor of love from a fan's point of view. But it really, the people and the places and things, the Galileo was in so many places that we didn't know it was in. And then so many people did all sorts of things in the Galileo over the years. And I can't wait to show people some of that towards the end of this year. And the material I've got actually goes on so long that maybe on the other side of this, I'm sure you've seen they've got The Thing expanded and Aliens expanded, these like 4.5-hour documentaries. Maybe on the other side of this, if it proves that there's demand for it, I might actually throw everything into it, because there is so much information that I'm having, to pick and choose what to leave out, and it is painful because it's all history.
Oh, we've all been dying for this for so long. It's absolutely amazing.
Jim, a couple of questions here have popped up. How are you going to distribute it, and when do you think it's going to be done?
Okay, so it will be done in December. The beauty of it is the documentary will be done no matter what. The last pieces really are going to be the publicity filmed and footage from the September piece. I will have a Kickstarter, but the Kickstarter is only for two things. I'd like to get some new editing equipment, but I can live without it. What I'd really like to do is I'd like to get enough money that I can fly out from Nashville, Tennessee to Los Angeles, and actually, even if it's just a split second, to stand at where the Lomita storage lot used to be, or the Century Theater, and say, okay, this is where it was on such and such a night. I show them a photograph if I have a photograph from there, and then pop into different places. I'd love to stand in what was Heisman's front yard. I've got that place memorized. It's still standing. It's beautiful. So the Kickstarter is really for those little B-roll things that I'll use and stick in a corner somewhere, because they're going to be secondary to the story. After that, there'll probably be a web page up where you can put like a $1 or a $5 deposit down. There'll be a book that'll follow 3 months later. No big stretch on that, because I have to write the scripts and all the support documentation anyhow. So it's coming in the end of this year, and it's been about 4 years in the making, and I'm certain that 2 days after I finish it, I'm going to find new stuff.
But this connection with the School of the Blind, I mean, it's just amazing to know, because it was such a weird, like, how did this happen?
Yeah, you knew there had to be an inside connection, sort of like when Craig Thompson, went to work for Golden West College, but had been working for Desilu. You knew there had to be an inside connection, but I never found out what it was. And ironically, it was a user comment back to one of your posts that gave me the final clue. Somebody said, and I had heard this before, but never substantiated. If I can't get at least two different people that are trustworthy to say something, then I have to treat it as hearsay. But somebody said, oh, yeah, I knew Heisman when I was a kid, and he told me he bought that thing at a PBS auction, and it cost more to ship than it did to purchase.
That part I believe.
Absolutely. They were all true statements, and I knew at that point. So then I found out, there's got to be a PBS station. There is, KCET. So I jumped out to KCET. That was easy. Nobody at KCET has records that go back that far, although they've been wonderful to me, and they are continuing to look. So I go into San Bernardino newspapers from 1972, and I start in January, and I check the TV listings every night, because I remember these telethon things that they would do to raise money for PBS. And I get all the way to May, and there it is. No mention of the Galileo, but they gave away artwork, lithographs. One of the local car dealerships gave away a brand new car. And the timing, May fits, because Roger got it the latter part of 1972. So everything just started to fall into place. And the director of, ironically, fundraising and online presence back at KCET, he's dying to learn the next thing. And so he's out there contacting all of the alumni that might still be there to see if anybody remembers this, especially if somebody had a photograph, or if they can find me a ledger, to back it up. But we have enough corroborative evidence now that, it is an oral history at this point. And we have to preserve it, because every day we lose more and more of our oral history, and our children won't know any of this. So I'll shut up.
Another question popped up I want to get on real soon is, will you be able to see the back of the Galileo? That is something we're working on. The back is really cool. There's kind of stuff going on back there.
The rear
aft section of the Galileo.
Right.
The stern and the
You will
outside.
be able to see its rear.
Yeah. We're working on it. It depends on the size of the room and how close the video wall is to it. But we're working
You
on
will
that.
see it. You're going to be able to get to the left and right side of it. We built as big a room as we could. James worked on it. It was a lot of his work. But yes, I wish we had more, but we have enough where you're going to see the front, you're going to see the back, and you're going to see the side.
Well, the other idea is to have mirrors on that wall as well.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, where you could be able to see it better. But and you're going to be able to get close to it, which is really nice.
We're not planning on putting ropes around it or anything like that. So you'll be able to get a good, clear, clean picture.
There will be force fields, however.
Yes, yes, and poison darts.
That tail design is a masterpiece. It is so amazing looking.
Yeah. Doug, I've been dying to ask you about the Federation Trading Post for years. I know you worked there. Are you a founder? Were you just an employee? How did that happen?
No, well, I was working. Let me stand still, will you? I had a normal kind of job. It was like a security company in Manhattan that answered armed response for alarms. It was some stories working there. But I would race home every night to catch the Outer Limits. I think the Outer Limits was on WOR or something at 11:30, and then it was like you couldn't tape it. You had to run to get to see it, otherwise you miss it. And I raced home, and in the middle of it, there's this 6-second ad. It's just a still frame with the logo of the Federation Trading Post. The only Star Trek story, that where you hear a phonograph needle slide across, what the hell? And it was around the corner from where I worked. So I went over there. And
this is New York City in the early 70s we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it was like 74 or 5 or something like that. Okay. And 53rd and 3rd, the corner of 53rd and 3rd, right across the street where the City Corps building would be. And it was like a 3-story walk-up, low-slung building that you knew sooner or later they were going to tear down. And on the second floor, there was a stairway outside that you went up to a second floor landing. And I could see there was that logo on the front window. And I could see somebody in there working. And I went up there, and it was Chuck Weiss, who opened the Federation Trading Post in Berkeley, California, which Berkeley was like a hotbed of Star Trek fandom in the early days. You had the college there, and Star Trek was huge.
Too much LDS.
Too much LDS. Oh, that's for sure. So I knocked on the door, and that's how I met Chuck. And it's just like we all are familiar with this when you talk to people who grew up with this and were weaned on it like mother's milk, It's like family right away. You have the shared, Denise and I always talked about the shared childhood. You had that shared childhood, even though you never met, and it's off to the races. And Chuck was like, "Do you want a job?" And I was like, "Hell yes." And he got me on the phone with Ron Barlow, who was the main manager. It was he and Chuck who got together to build a place. And I knew of Ron. He had been doing, he worked for like the Monster Times, and he did EC reprints, the old EC comics. I had been buying those, and I knew his name from that, and also his connection to Bernie Wrightson, the illustrator, because he published a thing called Bad Time Stories. That was amazing, Bernie Wrightson art. And I just remember when I got on the phone with Ron, I said, "It's nice to meet you." And he growled, "Well, you haven't met me yet," he said. I knew it wasn't going to be a problem, and it turned out he's just a crazy, funny guy, and that's why he said that. But they brought me in, and we basically ran the store, and we kept it interesting. We had a museum in the back, and we had we had a 6-foot Klingon ship that was a Nomad, which I still have. I have the Nomad from the Federation Trading Post. I mean, it's from 1976. My landlord in Brooklyn built it. But yeah, Federation. There was a while there where we owned Star Trek, pretty much. Every newspaper, magazine, Mad Magazine, Saturday Night Live, pocketbooks. They would come to us to review things. You know, it was an amazing, crazy time. And who would ever have thought? My God, it's unbelievable.
It's one of those places that people say, where would you go if you had a time machine? I mean, I was alive in 1974, but I had no idea it was there. And I was in California. But
and felt like you belonged. You know, that was one of the great things about the store. You realized that you belonged.
And that was important back then for us, because you weren't always welcomed everywhere as a Star Trek fan.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely. And then, of course, the conventions were, you know, I was at the very first one in Manhattan. I don't remember what year it was, 73 or 72, something like that. They only expected a few hundred people. I think like 2,000 people showed up.
Yeah.
The fire marshal was threatening to close it down. You know, Nimoy, who was not a guest, just turned up and created a riot. Gene Roddenberry was one of the guests. And I was in a small room with him, and Mike has done this too, where he showed the cage, the black and white version of the cage, because that's all he had, and then the bloopers, which no one had ever seen before. Yeah. And it was like Gene Roddenberry narrating the bloopers. You're like, wow, this is crazy. Isaac Asimov. I used to do slideshows at conventions. Asimov would sit in the front row to watch my slideshow about the Enterprise. That's him.
So, folks, this is a great example of the kind of chatter you can have with these folks at any one of our events coming up here. It's a pizza party. The pizza party is great. However, there are also designer chats, which will be held in the landing bay with the Galileo. Just a few people where you can have more close-up conversations like this about working at the Federation Trading Post or working on a next generation.
You know what would be great? Sorry to interrupt, but you know what would be great? If you could just have a 1-hour class from the design point of view, and you go into Kellogg and Raymond Loewy, you know, back to there, how it started with the Matt Jeffries design, and just a design class would be awesome.
I love that, Doug. We'll do that. We'll turn the designer class into a designer instructional video. Yeah.
From the design,
that would be great.
You know, incredible design. I mean, Kellogg worked for Loewy, and Loewy was like one of the great restylers of all time, which I had Raymond Loewy's book on my desk when I was doing the NX Enterprise, because I realized what I was doing was not designing a starship, really. I was restyling Matt Jeffries' amazing design, you know, and that's what Loewy was famous for. He took things like the locomotive and turned it into the streamliner, you know, and he worked from, you know, the 30s all the way to Skylab. I think he did stuff for Skylab, which is crazy. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Raymond Loewy designed the Air Force One, the blue markings on the Air Force One, as it's been for years and years now. That was Raymond Loewy. It would be a shame to change that.
I got to do a flyby here. This is Neil Smith's work that we commissioned, and he did a replica of what the shuttle looked like in 2012.
Oh my God!
When Adam and Leslie bought it, it's a great replica and very cool, very realistic. I'm also going to remind people that we are about $7,500 away from the $300,000 mark.
My goodness.
Brian and I have worked really hard, as have all these people. Help us cross that. Yeah. I want to cross that with you guys.
Think about this, Dave. If there's about 50 people watching, if everyone gave another $20, we'd be there.
Yeah.
Let me interject here that the lieutenant commander level out of our tiers is all of our great swag, and you get to get the designer chat with these folks, and you get to watch the christening from the bridge of the Enterprise. That's something we haven't talked about enough. You'll sit on the set of the tour and watch the christening on the view screen live. That'll be quite an experience. And actually, I don't think the captain's chair. I can't believe the captain's chair hasn't sold. There's one ticket to sit in the captain's chair for that viewing.
Are we talking about a special price if it's sold today?
You know, I think we should do that. I think we'll take offers, folks. What do you want? The The helmsman and the navigator seats are sold. They were $1,701, which was the perfect price. So the captain's got to be more than that. So we'll take offers on that, and let's sell that captain's seat on the bridge.
Why don't you offer? I sit in the captain's chair, and you sit in my lap.
There you go.
There you go.
That's priceless. Somebody's going to want to pay for that. Come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on, somebody. I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we
I
want to.
had people contact me on Facebook or whatever and say, I saw you, but I really didn't want to come up and talk to you. Well, we love to talk to people that have a shared passion with us.
Yeah.
In a big room and so forth, it's harder, but one-on-one or one in a small group, it's even better because we can all get to know each other better and express shared experiences. Doug and Mike and I and Daren, we worked on Trek for decades,
way too long.
decades. And we have so many stories to tell. A lot of them we haven't shared. So I think it'd really be a great opportunity to meet with a small group of people who share the passion for Star Trek just like we do.
Yeah, we love the community. That's, like I said, I think that's one of the biggest stories here is that community. What's happened,
My personal contest I conduct with myself is ask a designer or a star a question they've never been asked before. That there's two things. One, they're really interested in answering questions they haven't asked before. You don't ask, William Shatner, what was it like being on Star Trek? He gets that 1,000 times a day.
Yeah, what's your favorite answer?
We've asked him when he hasn't heard before. Not only will he be interested in the answer, but you can say later when you meet him again, I'm the guy that asked you that weird question. Oh yeah,
that I could see him remembering.
Yeah.
That would be something Bill would like.
You get rid of him.
Yeah. I asked him about a TV movie called Soul Survivor about a B-25.
Oh, I love, yes.
B-25 crash in the desert and only ghosts inhabit it. And he's an investigator going to investigate the crash. And, of course, he didn't remember the show until I told him, yeah, you were with Baseheart in the desert. He goes, oh, I remember that.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny you say that because that's a lot how I, having spent some time with Bill, he does equate shows with who he worked with.
Yeah.
I was talking about something. He's like, and I was thinking about a Star Trek episode. He goes, I don't know the name. Who was the guest star? It happened to be Mirror. We were talking. I said Barbara. I said, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because he just remembers making it. He's never watched it.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah. What everybody's seeing on the screen is such an example of what you will have in person. These are wonderful people that you're going to get to talk to. Jim's going to be at the dedication event. You're going to get the chance to talk to him about so much history. Doug, Mike, Doc are all going to be there. And there are some slots left to be part of history. And we're going to have an amazing weekend together. These people are super fun to be with and super friendly. And they're real Star Trek fans. It's an amazing experience to get to hang out together. It is. Yeah.
And we're really looking forward to it.
Yep, sure.
Yeah. Mike and Denise are friendly. I'm just tolerant.
I'm in awe of Mike and Denise. I called out Doug and Daren. I didn't mean to slight Mike and Denise in any way. I had no words.
We have no words either.
This is the two nicest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. But again, and I say this all the time, and Doug and I talk about this, is that Star Trek fans that we have never formally met are friends that we've just not met.
Exactly.
Before. I mean, we're a family. We have a shared passion. And there's something about people that fell in love with Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. We share a common philosophy of life, and it brings us together. And especially in this crazy world of ours, that's such a gift. Yeah. And so we always look forward to coming to the tour. We enjoy it. We enjoy the people more than anything else, really. But to be in that special place, and now we have the Galileo, for crying out loud.
Amazing, unbelievable.
I asked my viewers about 6 months ago a question that chilled me when I first thought about it, and that was, think about your life now, and ask yourself, would you even know who you would be if you had never seen that first episode of Star Trek?
Oh boy.
That's a good question.
Our lives completely unravel like DNA. I don't even know what kind of would I even like myself, because there's so much about our morals and the things that we like and our guiding compass and stuff like that came as a result of turning on a TV show randomly in most cases, and our life changed in an instant. Sometimes we knew, hey, this is important. I remember watching my first episode of Star Trek. A lot of cases, we don't remember that first moment, but the life's never the same. And I can't imagine what it would be like without it and where we would all be.
It's like that poster, Everything I Ever Need to Know I learned from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember that. I remember that first moment. I think Mike does, Daren does, Doug does.
Oh my God,
I still use at work the Scotty principle, the 4 hours. You got to, multiply everything by 4 hours.
I had to claim
the theme to Daniel Boone came on before Star Trek.
Thursday nights, right?
Yep.
Wow.
So you'd hear the theme to Daniel Boone, and you'd go, "Oh my God, it's almost on," and then you'd be still down for an hour.
Friday nights, the theme was dun, 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 dun. Remember the name of the game?
Yeah. Absolutely.
On Friday night. So whenever that music would come on, I'd get really excited.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch TV, and I was a big science fiction fan, very well read for my age. And so I was kind of choosy, and I was starting to see art that had been done in the newspapers and magazines. Back then there was the fall premiere week, and there'd be 1 week where the 3 networks would roll out all their new shows, and they made a lot of hoopla about it. And of course, Detroit was coming out with their new cars. So they were pumping money into their ads, and you were seeing, that hot new car with, a trailer for a show that looks amazing. For me, it was the Enterprise. And it was, the first time I saw the Enterprise was a sketch that was in the premiere week art, which you can see online if you look it up, right next to Dean Martin and Bonanza and, all those shows.
Obama sketch, the Obama artwork.
It isn't the James Bama artwork.
Okay.
That wasn't the first time I saw the Enterprise. It was a sketch. I'm not sure who done it. Maybe it was.
It might have been Bama.
It may have been Paul Call, the guy who did a lot of the NASA stuff. He was very interested in space. It kind of looks like his, but I don't know. Maybe it was Bama. I have his book where he covers it. I don't recall seeing that, but I should take a look. Anyway, that ship is what really grabbed me because it was like nothing else. We had just came out of an era where everything was like a pointy silver tube with big fins on it that landed on its tail. Although that got to be a joke after a while, and now we're really watching rockets.
Yeah, now it's really doing that.
Yeah.
I can't get over the one where it grabs spaceship, where it actually just grabs it back in the launcher again. I thought landing them straight up together a couple of years back was impressive. When I saw it grab spaceship right out of the air, oh my God.
They only did that once, right?
I think once on television, but I think there was another one, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. I'd have to. We have a mutual friend, Dr. David Alexander. He goes up to Ticonderoga all the time. He's one of my closest friends and patrons, and I'll have to ask him because he knows all this stuff all the time.
Yeah, he's a backer of this project as well.
Yes,
he'll be there in September.
Yep. I mean that self-driving technology is, the stuff they have in cars, which is amazing, which I think is safer than human drivers.
Before we get away from what Star Trek means to all of us, Daren, can you tell, if you remember what story I'm talking about, can you tell the story about William Shatner asking about why these people are all here? Did you talk to him about that? Do you remember that story?
I think this was on one of the bridge chats. And he was saying something about not understanding why people connected to Star Trek the way they did. And I was thinking that it was equivalent of our attitude toward the actual astronauts who were up in space and who had gone to the moon, that our connection was equal to them because we never met the astronauts, we never met the characters on Star Trek, and that it is mythology. It is living mythology that connects us as fans of the real space program and fans of the imaginary space program. And that there is no difference in our minds and in our hearts to these things. And he sat there a little bit and said, I've never thought of it that way. But that's what's so fun about being at the sets and being able to do those things.
And when we're talking about William Shatner a lot, we have to mention that George and Walter are coming to the September event, and you can have the same kind of discussion with either George or Walter about their time on Star Trek. And they remember being on Star Trek. So you can actually ask them about specific things that happened. They remember. Their minds were like steel traps, those guys. And you might even get Walter to grumble a little about William Shatner.
You'll definitely be able to get George.
Mission
Galileo.
Galileo.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Nice.
When George was up there, he did give a bridge chat, and it was pretty moving because his history. If he was in the internment camp or whatever they called it back in the Second World War in America. He realizes that how much Star Trek meant to people of diversity, and the diversity in the show, and how important. And a lot of people that were in that crowd related to that, as an Asian American or a Black American at that time, seeing them as officers was huge. We take it more for granted now, but that was so important,
Oh, people, younger viewers don't really know what it looked like in 1966. It was a huge, huge statement. Now it's just taken for granted. But back then, they were really, Gene could have played it safe and had everybody be, white male, with blonde hair.
Yeah.
But he decided he was going to make a statement, and it could have hurt his ability to do the show, but he thought it was important.
And it really goes back to the very, very beginning of Star Trek. His original concept for Star Trek wasn't a spaceship; it was a Jules Verne-esque airship that he wanted a mixed ethnic crew, and he fought for it. The character Spock was specifically designed to show the diversity of life, to show the diversity of thought, and that shows you how important that was to Gene.
Yeah, it's people don't realize that he put a Russian on the spaceship. These are the people we were about to exchange nuclear war with. This was a real thing. In the 60s, it was a real worry the bomb could drop tomorrow from the Soviets, and he put a Russian on the ship saying, someday we'll all be friends.
And he could have gone easy with that because that was the British invasion, the beetle wig, the whole he didn't have to go Russian. That was definitely a statement.
Yes.
For sure. I think he likes to poke the beehive.
Yeah, that's for sure too.
and years later, he did the same thing with putting a Klingon on the bridge of the Enterprise D.
Yes.
That was Gene saying, "Here are the black hats.
Yeah,
we won't always be enemies."
And he's paying off. Someday Klingons and humans will be fast friends. It's paying off. 20 years later, something he said in an episode.
Star Trek's
individual series.
Land of Mercy. Yeah.
And I can't tell you how surprised I was as the years went on. That Worf grew into one of my favorite characters. And that was not something I expected when I first saw him on the bridge. I thought, okay, this is going to be interesting. But the storylines and the characters is just amazing. I'm so glad they did that.
Mm-hmm. And the character of Worf was solid from his very first line was, "Sir, I am a Klingon. For me to seek safety while my commander goes into battle." You knew exactly who that man was.
Right. You're a Starfleet officer.
Should we plug some things as we're getting down to 22 minutes left?
Sure. Yeah, make Star Trek Legacy happen.
Let's plug
Season 3 of Picard
We're just talking about Gene Roddenberry. Let's talk about the Gene Roddenberry glasses then, because these are very funny. People don't understand them, so let's explain them. Gene Roddenberry liked himself a cocktail because it was the '60s and he was Gene Roddenberry, and he actually gave away cocktail glasses to his crew as a crew gift at the end of a season. And what we've done is we found out the glass he used and the company that made those glasses still exists. And we got the exact same glasses, and we are going to put our logos on them for the Galileo cocktail glasses. And you'll get a set of 2 if you buy them as an add-on or at our, let's see, I have it right here, at our senior team member level. You'll get the glasses and the patch and the pin and the shirts and the hats. And you can drink a toast to Galileo and Gene Roddenberry from the glasses that he also used to toast his crew.
A drop of truth.
Dave is particularly interested in glassware from Star Trek.
Obsessed would be the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. So another set of glasses, Rizzo, if you'll throw up the Tranya glasses. These are look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
Throw up the Tranya glass picture. There we go. So Dave had these glasses made that are exact duplicates of the ones that held Tranya in help me, episode
Corbomite maneuver.
Corbomite maneuver. The Corbomite maneuver. We have these up as an add-on. This is the only place online you can get these. You have to be at the set tour to buy them normally, but we're able to get a set from them as a promotional thing here. So if you want to get these in your house and you can't make it to Ticonderoga, here's your shot. Here's your chance to do that.
Doug, I want you to do the Baylock laugh because I think you do that quite.
Darren can do better.
Nope.
I actually did the laugh for the show. I was a child.
We have a story. There's Baylock. There's a story.
Yeah.
Tell a story. What kind of hand puppet that would make?
He's right behind you. You can't really see him, but there he is in the background.
I used to review products for
April wants it.
For merchandising and licensing, and once in a while they would send me toys to say thank you. So one day they sent me a toy phaser, the Playmates phaser, and I put it in a box and I mailed it to Wah Chang, who had built the original phasers, because I figured of anyone, he's the guy who deserves it. So so a couple of weeks later, he sent me this. This is
that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Wow,
a great story.
Yeah. That's he signed the bottom, but it's faded.
April wants it. Yeah.
April was doing her dance. She does this dance. Michael brought that out, and she goes, "I want that."
I want that dance.
I want to chew on Baylock.
Who wouldn't?
How many people know that Wah Chang made that out of bubblegum?
Yeah.
We have the hats too, Brian. I don't know if you guys want to mention that.
Let's throw them up there. We haven't talked about the hats at all. These I designed because they were really simple. That's the Galileo logo and the numbers. And you can get one or both. They're available at the Galileo Supporter Extra level or as an add-on. And if you've picked one and you might want to change your mind, I think when we sent out the quiz to ask you what size t-shirt you wear and what name you want on the plaque, that will ask you what hat you like. So these are our hats. And we should talk about the plaque again because it's been an hour and a half since we talked about the plaque.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to mention on the plaque,
which one are we talking about now?
Throw up the gold one. We haven't shown that one yet. Throw up the gold one.
Yeah. Yep.
This was Mike. Thanks to Mike Okuda for putting all those names on the D plaque, because that gave us the opportunity to put everybody who's going to be a backer on this plaque.
Weirdly, they're all Latin, but I don't know.
Yeah, and of course, this is a placeholder. Daren put this together for us for the Galileo dedication plaque. And it's going to be so the stuff at the top is pretty much set. We're going to pay a special tribute to Adam and Leslie Schneider because they restored it. And without them, it probably would be a pile of rusty parts in somebody's front yard.
Yeah.
The Admiralty is going to be, Admiral Roddenberry, Admiral Colley, those folks. But the officers will be all the senior officers who are our backers. So this plaque is going to go on the wall in the shuttle bay next to the Galileo. If your name is on it, you can come visit it and see that plaque on the wall. And then the Wall of Fame is for everyone who's a crew member. The crew members get all the cool swag, and you get your name on this Wall of Fame. And the Wall of Fame names are going in order of pledger. So the earlier you pledge, the higher up on this list you're going to go. And this is something where you can visit anytime and see your name on the wall. You can send your friends over to see it and see your name on the wall. And we're going to send everyone who's on the Wall of Fame and on the dedication plaque a copy of the plaque. We'll do a little scale size version of the plaque. And even if you're on the Wall of Fame, we'll put your name on the gold plaque you get in the mail. So no one wants a plaque without their name on it. So we're going to arrange it so every plaque you get will have your name on it along with others, so that you'll get it home, as well as being on the Wall of Fame in the landing bay.
And one question people ask is, when we do the survey afterward, you'll be able to tell us exactly how you want your name. We've had some people want to put the name of someone else or someone that they wanted to remember. And we'll be able to do all that for you as we do the survey afterwards and make sure we get it exactly right for you. So that's
there are a number of people who want to, I know there's a wife getting it for her husband as a surprise. There's a friend who wants to put his friend who's passed away up on the wall, so he'll be remembered forever up there. And those are great things to do as well.
Yep.
But please, no dirty fake names.
No. Yes. We will. We'll filter out the Seymour butts and a lot of vagina. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on to you. We're on to you.
Yes.
We are down below 15 minutes, guys. Just wanted to give you.
Wow.
I know. I was just already under 15 minutes, and we are at 291. Looks like.
Wow.
Update.
Back when I was doing those dedication plaques for the various shows, for the various sets. And I just thought it was kind of fun, but it turned out that having your name on the wall of the set meant a lot to our coworkers. People were going, well, how can we put Daren's name there? You didn't put my name. So that because it was meaningful to be part of what you have created, to be part of Star Trek.
Yep.
And here's an opportunity to do something that'll last even longer than one of those sets.
Yep. Yeah. People get to be part of Star Trek, and it's a great opportunity. Exciting. Yeah.
Very true. Even since I was involved in building the current sets, I'll walk through and say, it's proud that you can say, I did that. I worked on that. I did that. Or, it's kind of like, even though it's not my name on there, I know I did it and it's there. So everybody wants to be a part of it. We get so many people ask, how do I volunteer? What can I give you? Like James said, this guy reached out and wanted to build something. Got a lot of people that do that. I want to, have some, because they want something there. That's theirs and they can identify. And this is a great way to do it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I love that part. I enjoy when I'm at the set and I can see things that I made. And I used to hide when I first put in the Tantalus device. I would hide around the corner and watch people when it would open up, because it was just so fun to me to see them go, "Oh my God," and it just made me happy. It was worth the work.
You and Brian have done some really cool stuff with getting the transporter to, I don't say work because it doesn't actually transport you anywhere, but the lights will go when you slide the sliders that goes through the sequence, and the comm panels with the voices, and the Tantalus field, and so many things that you've added to it that just make the experience for people so much better.
And the honey cloud creature.
And the honey cloud, that's right. Forgot about that one. Yeah.
And the phaser and the red alert and
I'll tell you a funny story. When George was George Takei was there. He was sitting in his place and he was playing with those buttons because we showed him the oscilloscope, we call it, and you have the buttons that will fire the phasers. And every time he would hit the button that would fire, he'd look up at the screen to see if it would actually see the phasers go. And we're like, we haven't got that yet.
Not yet.
Not there, but maybe we're working on
that. Let me promote a Daren tour. If you're there in June or September, go on a Daren Dochterman tour because he does the interface with the control panel for Trouble with Tribbles, and you can hear the whole conversation with the guy at the other end whose name I can never remember. Who's he
Niels
talking?
Barris?
Niels Barris. That's right. And Daren even does it at William Shatner if you ask him nicely.
Sometimes. Not when Bill is there.
But not when Bill's there.
It's been noted and logged. That is one of my favorite things is those comm panels.
Yeah, all the comm panels in the set tour will talk to you. If you know the lines from the episode from that particular comm panel, you can have a conversation. Yep.
Hey, you've got an Uncle Special on the wall back there.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I built it a few years back. Yeah,
I have an Uncle Special as well. That is the original influence for the phaser. Was the Uncle Special?
No kidding. Oh, because it assembles. Oh,
Gene saw the incredible popularity of that prop on The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and I think one of the producers someone from Have Gun Will Travel worked on U.N.C.L.E., so he had kind of an inside. But yeah, that's an amazing design. That's some hot rod TV art direction there.
Yes. It was
before Star Trek. Gene did the Lieutenant. The Lieutenant was done in MGM for Arena Pictures, which productions. Which
there you go. Yeah, those connections are crazy. With you guys talking about the stuff to be able to walk through the set and see the things that you did, and I know that you share this feeling that one of the exciting things for us when we did shows like Trials and Tribulations and Amira Darkly Enterprise episodes, part of the thrill, a big part of the thrill, was retracing the steps of your heroes and feeling like I'm exactly where they were at this moment. As a matter of fact, I had a moment in Trials and Tribulations where we knew that if you just stuck plastic buttons on the plexi and you didn't think about making it correct, everyone would know. They wouldn't, normal people don't understand that. But so we had pieces of plex that were cut like, the button panels on the bridge. And Mike, Denise, and I had gone through and made sure all the buttons, even if we couldn't tell exactly, that they would still have the same feeling and, this sense of reality, even though they were crazy. I had the panels on the light box, and I was taking the little jelly bean buttons, which Greg Jean made for us, which came from the original molds, and you'd put epoxy on the back, and you would have to land them exactly in the right spot. And if a little web of epoxy came out and landed on the plex, that was it. There's no cleaning it off. You have to start over again. But I was doing that and feeling like I'm in 1965, when they're putting the show together. And I heard this voice about a foot above me. And it says, "That's just the way we used to do it." And I whip around and it's John Dwyer.
Oh, man.
He was on one of the movies. I don't remember which one it was. Remember? And when I saw him, and I'm getting a chill now, a lightning bolt went through me. And I started dancing around the art department, jumping in the air, whooping like crazy. Mike, I know you saw it. But, yeah, that's that feeling that you're in that spot where they were and probably having a lot of the same thought processes. And it's amazing.
Well, that's one of the amazing things that happens when you go to the set tour. After you've been through it and after you've explored it a little bit, whenever you see the show again, you know exactly where they are.
Yeah.
Because you've been there and you know what's going on behind the camera. You know everywhere that ship is. And it's truly amazing. You cannot watch the show the same ever again.
Yeah, it makes the Enterprise far more real than ever. You have a sense of the physicality of it. You have a sense of the ambiance, and it's as you said, it just makes the Enterprise so much more real.
And I think so many people standing next to, looking at the Galileo are going to get that feeling too. My favorite TOS episode is Metamorphosis, and the shuttle is a character in that show. So I'm really, on a personal level, I'm really looking forward to standing in them and taking in the whole view of the shuttle in that environment with friends I've never met before.
I'm looking forward to the acid burning grass.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Only if you go barefoot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a major paint job on the Galileo for that. I mean, it was darker gray, wasn't it? The new paint job on it.
I don't know if that was just the light or if they had repainted it. It only appears, the outside of the Galileo only appears in like 4 episodes.
Yeah, or if you count
if you count walking to it in the shuttle bay. Yeah,
I had always heard that it was slightly different, but I have not found any documentation, and all the photographs, unfortunately, the studio lighting just, even today, the Galileo, because I sent something to Dave, I think it was, asking him a question about a month ago. Even today, the studio light will play tricks on you and make the Galileo's top and bottom look like they might be 2 different shades, or that they might be the same shades. It changes depending on how the light hits it.
Yep.
And I think a lot of that today has to do with that special epoxy-based paint that Adam had put on it. But I had heard that, yes, there was a subtle paint difference when the Galileo 2 showed up in the Way to Eden.
It was acid proof.
To talk about it all the time.
I look forward to giving you a purple sky behind that ship when we do the Metamorphosis.
Right?
Metamorphosis. That's my favorite episode for the visuals of the Galileo.
That's my favorite episode, period.
Yeah, me too.
We'll get a 9mm lens and shoot a super wide angle too. So
we're gonna have to
way out in the distance.
We're gonna have to do a Metamorphosis and scene with the video wall. Here we are. Oh my God, we got 5 minutes.
5 minutes, guys. I thought I'd just throw this up. I don't know if you want me to leave it up while we're.
I would leave this up at this point. Put the pressure on.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have Sammy Davis Jr. He'd be out here singing right now.
We can sing something different.
Well, where we're headed that people can help with is the video wall. And that's the very thing that we could do after we get the hangar deck. We could make it look like you've landed on the planet for Metamorphosis and feel like you're right there. Purple sky, the building off to the side, everything. And
our buddy Joel has volunteered to dress up as a giant furry ape man.
He's about the right height.
Yeah.
Tall guy, so.
You now
We've
have
had a lot of
3
requests
minutes
for
left.
We have a lot of requests for that, to have the ape-like creatures banging a giant foam rock on the top of it.
Yeah, I want some big fake rocks in there to throw at people at the end of when they come in,
and cover up the wheels. That big rock is often right next to the step on the nacelle. Is to cover up. That's where the wheels stick out the bottom of the Galileo if they're installed, rolling on or off the set. So that they were lazy, and rather than removing the wheels and putting it on its foot, they just put a rock in its place, so we can reproduce that as well.
Conveniently
placed. Were the biggest surprise for me during my research. When the day that I discovered the wheels, I think it was Dave Arnold reached out to me and sent me photographs of them. And he says, "Well, Jim, it was meant to be pushed around on a soundstage. It never dawned on me that there were wheels on it."
And now that we're, when you're physically near the thing, you don't realize not only how big it is, but how heavy it is.
Yes.
Those nacelles are steel pipes. The thing is, and I talked about this before. If AMT hadn't built this thing, if they had built it, Mike, I'm sure Doug and Denise could tell you, and Daren, if they had built this as a set piece, it would have been half of what it was and made out of cardboard or something. And
not necessarily.
I don't think they would have built it out of steel, though, Mike. Do you think? And
Well, the Star Trek 5 shuttles were tube steel frames.
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
And plywood skin, so they were fiercely heavy.
They were also left out in the elements and they deteriorated.
Yeah.
In our time on the show, I think I remember seeing there was one of the shuttles from Star Trek 5 was like sitting out on the lot in the rain for months.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was.
Yeah.
And that big piece of runabout. Remember that big piece of runabout from Deep Space Nine?
Oh, yes.
That sat in the rain.
Tell the story about taping that.
Well, I just remember that Herman took me and Denise down the stage. They had this runabout, section of a runabout they made, and it just looked like a white lump, And Herman said,
30 seconds.
He says, I'm going to have to ask you guys to tape this thing. And I started jumping up and down, all excited. And Herman looks at Denise and says, is he kidding? And Denise says, no, Herman, he's not kidding.
We're almost there. We're almost there. Oh my God.
Yeah, about a minute. My time was a little long, so compared to Kickstarter's when so just went up to 294, 675, guys.
1 minute left.
Yeah, 40 seconds according to the Kickstarter, guys.
Come on.
All right, it says 30. Well, this
This timer's a little going to run a little
seconds.
long, but
yeah, gotcha. We're at 27 on the website.
So what happens when a Kickstarter ends? Do I get an email or something, or is it...
Yeah,
you get a big check, Brian.
You get a bill.
I've never run one of these before.
Yep. I mean, there we go. It's been a month of campaigning. Thanks to everyone's effort.
On the, 10 seconds on the Kickstarter. This clock is a little long. Sorry.
And that's it.
Hey, little firework. 294, 582. Final number.
I never thought I'd see this day.
A lot of hard work.
I never would have thought we would have hit this high. I thank you, everybody that's contributed. Amazing. I thought David crazy when he said 200.
Guys, and congratulations to all the fans who have stepped to the plate.
Yes.
Yeah.
655 backers. Yeah.
And who are now part of the legacy.
Good time to tell people if they're watching this on the tape delay later today or whatever, they missed it. Might be a good time to talk about the delayed pledges that can be allowed.
Yeah, we all the swag. We're going to continue to sell that. We're going to over order, so we'll have some in stock. So if it's not too late, if you're not a backer, if you're just joining us at the last minute, going, oh no, it's over. What do I do? Jump back on the Kickstarter. You can still grab a hat or a pin or a patch, or I think maybe the pizza party might have a few slots left that we can you can join in as well. So just because you're late to the party doesn't mean you can't play.
Yeah, we'll give some consideration to what we may also put on there, but we will have some late stuff, especially product based, and we'll take a look at what slots are left and see if we put anything else back up that we want to fill. But we're super thrilled, and I want to give a shout out to Alexandra Isabel, who isn't with us, but has been amazing to work with us on social media and posting, and she's been posting while we're live. She's been behind the scenes posting our last few hours. Thank you, Alex, for everything you did. Thank you to Mike and the Okudas and Doug and Jim and Daren for all your hard work, and Brian for a huge amount of hard work to make this all happen. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
amazing job.
Well done, everybody.
Thank you.
Congratulations to
Very,
everyone.
very exciting, and can't wait to see everybody in September. And I'm looking forward to the pizza party, quite frankly.
Yeah, pineapple.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be okay if we color it?
All we have to do now is do it, Dave. Now we just have to go build a building.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the real work starts now. Because we didn't even talk about stuff like getting it lit, which and I've gotten some of you guys may know Jeff Barklage. I'm going to pull Jeff in, who has a really good knowledge of Finnerman lighting. He worked on some of the fan films with us, so he's going to help us with the lighting. So there's a lot of work to do yet. This is just the first step.
Yeah. The contractor is going to start with the building. The foundation was done, but he's going to start on the building on, I believe it's Thursday. So we are moving.
Wow.
That's great.
Wow.
And for people that were part of the Kickstarter, we're going to be updating you not only on your rewards, but on the progress. Because you backed us, you will be able to get posts about what we're doing. I'm sure we'll take photos as the building develops, things with the Galileo that you'll have an inside track on through the summer as we build toward the dedication event. You guys are all going to be the inside with us.
Yep.
And get to see everything.
And we'll probably maybe do some more of these live, at least with Brian and Dave, some of these live streams maybe every once in a while to kind of give updates. Maybe that's a good idea.
Updated stuff that's coming out and stuff that's being built, and maybe we'll shoot some video at the. We have a whole bunch of other Star Trek fans coming up to the set to do a fulfillment day. So when we pack all those boxes with hats and glasses and T-shirts, we'll shoot some shots and video from that as well, so you guys can see the stuff going in the boxes on its way to you. Yeah.
And I wanted to shout out to BD, a good friend of ours who's been also become an integral part of the team and has been really helpful and is going to be really helpful going forward. He's done a lot of work with contracting and building, and I'm very appreciative of him, and he deserves a good shout out today too for all his backing of this campaign and for his help going forward. So amazing stuff. You guys are all awesome. I love you guys.
Yeah, what people out there don't know is we booked these folks for half an hour, and they've been here the entire time.
Here all day.
They'll hop on, and it's early in California for them. So thank you.
When we started, the sun wasn't even up yet.
Yeah, that's what Daren was saying. So thank you for getting up early.
Denise is up early, but
Denise does get up early. I know that because she will.
Denise is like up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and often I am too. So.
Well, Doug, you're one of the few people that I can talk to at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Oh, Daren. No, that's not true. Daren and I have talked to each other. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. We're crazy. So anyway, fantastic. I got to go get more coffee.
Dave and Brian, any last minute things you want to add before we close it out?
Thank you is all we have to say. It's been it's been the Kickstarter for a month, but we've been playing this for 6 months, and it's great that it come to a successful conclusion, and now we got to go get it done.
All right. On that note, we'll say good afternoon. I guess it is now for everybody, almost, except for those on the West Coast. And we'll just watch this space for more updates. And as always, live long and prosper.
And congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jim.